This report brought to you by American Implement, indebted to the past, committed to the future. In a moment, we'll talk mental health.
Would you like to see something done about high gas prices and low unemployment? Western Place Energy in Campus, Kansas is doing something about it. They're a proud part of Growth Energy, America's ethanol supporters, and they employ 38 people and will be adding more following the expansion. Ethanol fuel not only reduces the cost of regular gasoline, it's good for the environment and keeps money right here in the United States while supporting local rural jobs. Western Plains Energy, doing something for the future.
S&S Trailer Sales, with 2 locations in Ness City, Kansas, is where everybody goes to buy or rent trailers. They feature the all-new, all-aluminum Mauer grain trailer with all of the electric options, the easy-to-load detached trailers, and a huge stock of header trailers. At the West location, you'll find bumper poles, goosenecks, and oilfield specialty trailers, along with flat and utility beds for pickups. S&S Trailer Sales in Ness City and on the web, but remember, you do have to spell out the "and."
And joining us now is Kaley Conner with High Plains Mental Health Center, and we're going to spend a few moments kind of just maybe giving some reassurances and talking about, things are available. There's so many uncertainties, Kaley, and, maybe sometimes we think there's nobody that it can kind of be there to help us as we go through all these uncertainties right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a very challenging time for a lot of folks. We know a lot of people, unfortunately, might be feeling a financial strain due to being out of work or being furloughed. And just the circumstances in general are scary because there's a lot of unknowns and a lot of things that are well beyond our control. And so, the community mental health centers in Kansas, every county has a community mental health center. We are all still open for business. We're still seeing patients. Here at High Plains, we're still taking new patients, and we are actually now providing services by telephone and in some cases Zoom teleconferencing, because we really want it to be available to people right now when they might need the extra support more than ever. So there is help, and we don't want ever people to feel ashamed for reaching out and asking for that help, because these times are very difficult.
And really, this is the way we're doing our interview, and I will tell you, it's very cost effective. As long as you have an internet access, you and I can have a conversation for, I think, upwards of 40 minutes with no charge as far as from this connection. So that's important. Kaley, it wasn't that many months ago here on the Kansas Ag Report, we did a series of dealing with kind of mental health on the farm and in rural Kansas. And so those things haven't gone away either. And so we probably have a lot of folks that are kind of feeling that double strain right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, that probably is the case. I think times are tough for a lot of folks. One of the really nice things about being able to provide services remotely is we can provide that support to people right where they're at. Whether it's a farmer, working in the tractor on the field who's still able to take a phone call or to take a teleconference, or, the parents who are now at home with their children who aren't in school. We didn't want there to be any barriers, to the support that they need during this time of social distancing.
And that's kind of it. Is there are ways to reach out, and one of the things that our community mental health centers do is answer the basics, or that gets the process started. So that's one of the reasons why we just wanted to make sure that folks knew that, if they're struggling to find answers, struggling maybe how to talk to your young children or your teenagers, that you all, the community mental health centers are a great resource.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are still open. We're still providing services. Our crisis line is still up and going 24/7. It is an unsettling time. I know for parents with schools being closed, that's a big adjustment for a lot of us, myself included. And kids, they're picking up on the uncertainty around them too, those changes in routines, the disruptions to their daily schedules. And so it's important for us as parents to give our kids that time to talk and to share their emotions as well.
Kaley Conner with High Plains Mental Health Center based in Hayes is joining us. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
When you've had a best friend for over 50 years, you develop a trust. And the Scot Co-op has been a trusted rural friend since 1957. A co-op keeps money in the area, doing business for and with their members. And that helps keep their hometown thriving with keeping money in the community. Scot Co-op is not just an elevator. It's the rural way of doing business. So, when you see an elevator, remember your friends at Scot Co-op.
Day and night till the job is done. Teeter is the one that works for you. Fields of green reaching toward the sun. Teeter is the one that works for you. Teeter is the one. Teeter is the one that works for you. Teeter Irrigation, your source for water management.
And our guest this week, Kaley Conner with the High Plains Mental Health Center. They're based in Hayes, and talking just kind of a check-in for everybody's mental health with still all the uncertainty of COVID-19, coronavirus, everything else that's going on. So, Kaley, let's talk about, though, there are some things you can do. Say, you don't have to be held up in your home all the time. You can get out, and we do have, it's spring in Kansas, so we may have a beautiful day, we may have some challenges, but there are some things you can do to kind of keep your mental health pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are several coping strategies that we would suggest for folks right now. You mentioned one of them, but if at all possible, get outside for a little bit every day. If you feel safe doing that in your neighborhood, even if it's just going to sit on your front porch for a few minutes and getting some fresh air and getting some sunshine, that can really make a difference in your mood. Another component that's very important is while we are in this time of social distancing, we don't want to become socially isolated. So use whatever technology you have available to still check in on folks, to keep those relationships with your friends and family, because feeling very isolated can add to the stress that we're all already experiencing.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing in our, in many parts, you still can go fishing. And even if you're not like me, not a very good fisherman, but it's that activity, and I guess keep all your social distancing. But there are some, there are things to do, as we're on TV right now, but maybe shut off that TV for some of those things, or switch to a different channel. We've been watching some of the older shows and just kind of giving our brain a relaxation, and to be so tense up and trying to know everything all the time can get very tiresome.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good point. There's this constant stream of media coverage about this pandemic. You can't get on social media without seeing that's what all the posts are about. And after a while, it can be very exhausting, and it can really add to the stress that we're already feeling. So do try to set that limit. Get the information that you need for the day, but then maybe take a step back and do an activity that you enjoy doing, or spend some quality time with your family and unplug for a little while. That might make a difference in your mood. Also important to just keep perspective in all of this, that this is a temporary situation. We're not going to be like this forever. And when you start to feel overwhelmed or anxious or stressed, those strong emotions are going to fade. So it's important to keep our perspective through all of this as well.
Kaley, again, if folks need to reach out to somebody, have questions, concerns, maybe just try to find a way to maybe get a hold of their wide range of emotions, how's the best way to do that?
Sure. So for folks here in Northwest Kansas with the 20 counties of High Plains, we're available anytime by calling 1-800-432-0333. For folks in other regions of Kansas, go to Google, find your community mental health center in your region, and give them a call.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much for spending time with us. I know you all are very, very busy, but I think this is important to talk to all our audience of, together we'll get through this, and you all play a vital role. So thanks again for visiting with us.
Thank you.
Kaley Conner with High Plains Mental Health Center in Rahjes has joined us. Stay with us. We'll have more in just a moment.
Wolfter Construction and Irrigation has been around a long time, and a lot of folks have trusted them to design, build, and service all sizes of commercial and on-farm storage for grain and equipment. Wolfter is also known for their outstanding irrigation division, where they stock a complete selection of nozzles, regulators, drops, gear drives, electrical, and structure components. Looking for an electric motor? Wolfter has a large selection in single and three-phase. Next time, reach out to the pros who have decades of experience at taking care of business the right way. Wolfter Construction and Irrigation.
The cost of everything has gone up dramatically over the last 75 years. With one exception: keeping electricity affordable.
Wheatland Electric, delivering energy for life, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Well, thank you for joining us. You can find ag information, market updates, and more every day on 1030 KBUF. You can also be social with us, of course, at the appropriate distance on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Ken Rahjes. Thanks for watching.